My name is Josh Herman. I am a traditional wooden boat builder. I have been building and restoring traditional wooden boats for just about 20 years now. Before that, I was a carpenter for over a decade. For the last few weeks, we have been building a new mast for Chirsteen, which you see here beside me. Chirsteen is an oyster sloop built in 1883. I have been taking care of Chirsteen for 10, 11 years now. The mast that we took out of the boat was made from a tree itself. This particular mast is made out of multiple laminates of Douglas Fir that are glued together with epoxy to provide a slightly stronger, more stable structure in the end. We started by purchasing 200 linear feet of 3-inch thick, 12-inch wide vertical grain Douglas Fir, and we bought 20-foot boards. We cut a scarf joint between the boards so that we could build up the 4 laminates to their 45-foot length. After doing that, we glued the mast together in 2 separate stages, the first stage being the bottom 2 layers of the mast, and we glued the 2 layers to each other and also glued the scarf joints together at that point. The next day we cleaned them up and then glued these final 2 layers on top all at once to end up with a 12-inch square by 45-foot long blank from which we actually cut and shaped the new mast. The first thing we did was clean up the laminates and then cut the longitudinal taper from the bottom of the mast to the top with a circular saw on the 2 sides. Then we rotated the mast 90 degrees and cut the other 2 tapers so that we ended up with the stick properly tapered but still square. Then we cut the corners off with the circular saw to make the blank 8-sided. Then we cut the corners off again to make it 16-sided. Then we cut the corners off again to make it 32-sided. From that point onwards, we planed the mast with a series of different radius spar planes, which are wooden hand planes that have the diameter of the surface you're trying to create cut into the sole of the plane. So at the bottom, where the mast is 12 inches in diameter, I used a 12-inch diameter spar plane. That one worked for a certain length of it, and then I went to a 10-inch diameter plane and then an 8-inch diameter plane near the top to make the thing round. I already had a 12-inch diameter plane and an 8-inch or 6-inch diameter plane. I had a very good friend of mine, Ben Lay, make me a couple more spar planes. I have a couple more coming for another project we're doing. The spar plane is really nice because it allows you to plane the mast along its length and keep it completely round all the time, or go from a faceted surface to a very round surface because the plane is round itself, as opposed to a hand plane where the spar plane you're able to just kind of go along the length. With a flat-soled hand plane, you have to do a lot of diagonal planing to get the ridges out of it. The spar plane is much more efficient. Point is just linseed oil and a little bit of paint thinner. Once we put the mast back in the boat, we will coat it with more linseed oil and Vaseline, kind of greasing it up, and the top of the mast will be painted and all the rigging, standing rigging, will be coated with tar. We still have to fit the hardware on the top of the mast, and we're just about finishing up fitting the hardware on the bottom of the mast at this point. And that's pretty much it. It's what we do.